Welcome to episode 12 of What's in the Box. I am Tolgar, VP of Marketing here at Tatsoft, and you may notice that Mark is not on screen today. He was unavailable to make it, but in his place, we have someone who's been with Tatsoft just as long here, Eric Vigiani. Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's right.
I've been practicing. I know how it is with a name like Tolgar Alpagut.
That's fine.
Fantastic. So Eric's going to talk a little bit, just give us a history about how you've been part of the company. And then today's topic, I'm incredibly excited, is going to be advanced trending and annotation. So take it away, Eric.
Hi, guys. I'm application engineer in Tatsoft, and I'm working in Tatsoft since 2010, or now it's more or less almost 11 years. Wow. That's a lot, right? I know Mark Tacolini about 20 years. I started working with him in the old company called Indosoft in 2000. So a lot of people work together. Okay. So today we are here to talk a little bit about the trend chart, and we hope cover many features, advanced features like annotation, playback, SPC, and also show a little bit how configure the online data, historian data from external database with different schemas and data provider. In this, today you're gonna show the Canary Labs data provider. And I guess that's it. There's a lot of features that we can show to you guys. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's go. Let's start.
Right, let's do it.
So I'm gonna share here my screen.
All right. I'll pull it up when it comes through here. All right, you're live.
You guys see?
Yep, I see you.
Okay, good. Let's put this here. Okay, so let's start with the base. Okay, I think it's a good to spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes to the base, put everyone in the same place. Okay, so I'm gonna create a simple and easy and empty project here, and I'm gonna configure on this project online data. Okay, just to see how easy it is to use the trend chart and how easy to configure the basic thing. Okay, so he is creating here a project, and he starts to create that. Okay, good. So this is the engineering environment for us. This is a new project here. It's completely empty project, okay? So I'm gonna create here two tags, two integer tags here. Let's call that integer 1 and integer 2. Also, I'm gonna create a simulation device here to link with these tags, and we have some data to show, okay? So I'm gonna create here a simulation device. I'm gonna create a node for that. And here I'm gonna map in my two tags, okay? Integer 1 and integer 2. Here in the edges, is the way I'm gonna simulate that, okay? So I'm gonna simulate some integer values, and the range is 0 to 100. I will do exactly the same thing for the other one. Good. So he's done. So now I'm going to draw. And here is the place where you build your display or your screen, right? I'm going to pick up here my trend window object, drag and drop here, and double click on that. Here we have some configuration. I'm gonna explain that after, but the main things here is that you have some axis configuration here that you can change the labels, the duration, okay? And here on the bottom, you can add your pens. Integer 1 and integer 2. That's it. Let's save that. We are gonna run this project. And let's see what's happened. Let's see if your simulation device is working. Let's see if our trend is showing some data now. You see, I just did some small clicks on that to create this trend chart, right? Okay, so we have some data here, and this is showing our online data. This data is coming from our simulation device, okay? Now, let's play a little bit with this configuration here. So let's come here on this integer 1 here, pen settings. Let's change the color. Put it right here. Let's change the stroke thickness here for 3 here. And we can put some marker for that. And this other one here, let's change it to green. Enable these few areas here, okay? Let's save that. This is a preview, like how it will be in the runtime. Let's save that. And that's it, okay? You see, I don't need to stop and start the project because we have the online configuration enabled for us, okay?
Okay. Hey, Eric, can we also change our theme? You were talking about changing colors.
Do you mean runtime?
No, in the engineering environment. You can
okay.
You can do it there as well. No,
yeah,
for demonstration purposes, it's great because I just wanted to show that off. No, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do here. But yes, let me see here on the you click here on the cube here. You have this logo. Combo here. Yeah, you can change. Let's see. This the lighting. I like the blue one. Let's put the blue one here. Okay. So let's continue here. And I do some modification here just to understand, guys, what you're changing here. We have this navigation control here. That's a built-in navigation. It's these icons below here. Let's disable that, and also let's change the legend, the position of the legend here. Let's put on, I like this bottom panel here. Let's save that. Okay, let's see. Okay, we don't have more the navigation here controls for that, and the legend on the bottom. Cool. Now, another thing here I'd like to talk to you guys. You see, every time I change one screen and come back to the trend page, the drawing here is start from the beginning, right?
Yeah,
so restart, change it here, and here it start from the beginning. Why that? Because this is online data, okay? The data is coming from the simulation device. He is not configured in the historian, okay?
Okay.
So let's configure the historian now and see what's happened. To configure that, you come here on Edit, Tags, Historian Tags. And what you need to do, just type the the tags that I want to save in the historian, right? And let's see, that's it. Now let's keep some time here to save. Let's change the page again. You see? Now it's starting now more in this position now. Let's stay a little bit more. Okay, so now this data that is shown here is getting from the historian. Okay.
Hey, Eric.
Yes.
Just relating to that, because you were just talking about tags there when you're working in Historian. Can I save text tag in Historian?
Yes, but you need to configure a different schema for that. I'm gonna show for you in a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
So here in the historian, we have this table that have some configuration like create, or here's the how we're gonna save the data in the historian. Okay. And we have here some option that you can change your schema or not. This is this save quality that you add the quality in your schema, or the normalized. Answer your question, Tolgar. If you change your schema for the normalized, yes, you can save text tag on that, okay? But if you use in the default schema, you cannot. Only numerical tags you can save on that. I'm gonna show more in details that if you come in here on the data set, we have this guy here, the tag historian, okay? This guy, it's a default configuration. When you create a project, this is already there. And this guy is responsible for the historian database, okay? In our case here, the configuration is SQLite, okay? And because of that, when you come in here in the tag historian, you see here on the top, SQLite, okay? If I change this configuration, for example, the Oracle or a SQL Server, this information here, you change as well, okay? Yes, I can, let's do that, show you guys. So I'm gonna stop here because I don't have another database, I don't have Oracle or SQL Server in my computer, but I stop that, I come in here, I'm gonna rename this to like SQLite. Okay. And I'm gonna create a new provider here, new database. Let's put like the Oracle, for example, okay? Let's create it here. So he created this one here. Of course, if you have a real project, you need to configure the connection string, okay, all the information here to connect in your database. And now you're gonna change it here to tag start, okay? And if you come here again in the starting table, look here. Now it's linked with the Oracle, okay? So you change it there, you keep it the same name, tag historian, the project automatically linked with the new database, okay? And for the project, doesn't matter what is the database, he works exactly the same way, okay? So like put back my SQLite here. Okay, and you come back here. Okay, SQLite back here. Good. Now I want to show you guys what is the schema that I'm using now. Okay, so if you click here in the tag historian and in this button, you can see the table 1. Okay, remember the name that I configure here, table 1. So it's the same one that we are talking about. If you see here, this is the schema that you are saving. What this schema has? Many columns. One of the columns is the timestamp for that. We have the column log type. That means that 0 means that I'm starting the project. Okay. Also, this value here was the startup of the project. 1 means that is the normal running, right? And if you come in the bottom, we have the number 2 is when I close the project. Okay, so we have some information to show on the graphic way, some information for the users. Okay.
Okay.
Another column we have here, it's this not sync column. This is used when you have some redundancy and you need to synchronize the database between the two computers. Okay, so use this information here to know if the data was already synchronized or not. And also we have here the columns with the tag names. Okay, so this is the current value of the tag. So if, for example, if I have in my historian 15 tags or 50 tags or 100 tags, I'll be have here 100 columns with the tags. Okay, so this is the full schema for that. And another good thing to know here, every time I save a row here, for example, this row number 1 here, right? When I save that, doesn't matter what is the value for the tags. I will get the current tags for all the tags, and you'll save that. Doesn't matter if the tag changed the value or not. If one tag in the group change, I will save all of those values in one row. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the full schema for that. Why? You ask me about the text tags for that, right? So why, when I change here to normalized, I can save text tags? Because the schema is different. Let's run again here, and let's see if you can show you guys. The new schema, okay, for the normalize the schema. It's running. So let's keep some ways there. Let's see if you can get some data. Look here. Now we have what we have here. We have one table for each type. Okay, so it's a little bit different because here in the table, when in the default schema, we have only one table. Now we have one table for each type. And one of these table is table for text. Okay, so tags from type text type will be saved in this table here. And what is the difference now between the schemas? If we look here now, we don't have more the columns with the tag names. We have the columns with the object index and object values. That means what? It's one row for each tag value now, okay? So what does mean this 0, this 1 here, right, in the index? If you come in here in your configuration, we have this column ID. The ID 0 will be this index 0. The ID 1 will be the index 1. So what I mean index 0 here, value 65 here, means that the tag integer 1 was saved when the value was 65. And here is the integer 2, integer 1, integer 2, integer 1, okay? So here it's one row for value, okay? When I need to use one or another schema, depends of your project, okay? There are some projects where the full schema will be okay for you, and there are some projects where the normalized schema will be the best for you. For example, if you want to save text values, you must use the normalized schema. Okay. So here on this configuration here, we show online data and historian data. Okay. Now I'm gonna stop this project. I'm gonna create another project to show more advanced features now. Okay.
All right.
That was the basic one. Okay.
Yeah. Now we're getting to the good stuff.
Now let's come here. I'm gonna create a new project, but now I'm gonna select here the trend chart templates, okay? Why? Because this trend chart templates, he created a project with a trend page already configured, okay? And in this trend page, I guess has the best features to use in a project, okay? Let's see. So I'm gonna close this one. And there you go. Okay, so this project, it's not an empty project like I told you guys. Now you have some tags on that already configured. Let's just keep the same way it is, and let's start that, okay? Let's see what's having this template here. So this is the runtime of my project, and now I have this range page here, okay? And he brings for me some tags already configured on that. Let's add some things here and see if we have some values. Yes, we have some values here, okay? So on this project, we have everything that are seen here, it's working, okay? So we have here on the bottom, the panes control, you can change some configuration, the panes, colors, tags, you can change for here, you can see some values, you can delete the pen, let's for example delete this one, okay? You can add a new one. Here on the right side, we have some annotation grids, and on the top, we have some icons that you can manipulate and change your trend chart. Okay, let's start talking a little bit about these icons here on the top. Let's start from the right to the left. So here you can change some Y scale. So the default, you get the minimum and maximum that is configured on the pen, or those information here. The auto, he put the minimum and maximum for each pens. Okay, you can see here you have many numbers here, right? Because it's individual for each pens. And you have the combine that he get the minimum and the maximum between those pens that's configured here. Okay, so depends of what you want to see, you can use one or you can use another. Okay, also we have here on this part, you have the duration for the trend chart. What is the duration? It's the start and the end start time. Now it is in 5 minutes. If you click here, you can change for the 15, you can change for 1 minute, you can change for 1 hour, you can change for 2 days, okay? So you can change that for whatever you want. And also here you can set up a start date and start time date and end date, end time date, okay? Also, we have here some configuration for this trend chart, like enable the grid, disable the grid, make a zoom in, make a zoom out, make a pen for the left, a pen for the right. This one here, you connect the cursor with the mouse. If you move mouse, I don't need to click anything. The cursor is linked with the mouse. I have this one here that is take pens for that. What does this mean? In the same trend chart, he separates the pens. Okay, so this part here is only for the pen 1, this for the pen 2, this for the pen 3. Okay, he separates the labels here. This here is for disable or enable the alarms notification in the trend. I'm going to show this in another route. And this is only the refresh here. Okay. The good things here, that's everything that's here, you don't need to change anything. Remember, I just created the project and I run the project. I don't change anything on that. Okay. And the good thing here that you also have the annotation for us here. So here you can add the annotation for a tag. So let's pick up a tag here, put some title for that and some comments for that. Okay. Or you can add some annotation for events.
Eric, just can I ask you real quickly, with annotations, can you change the color?
Yes, I'm going to show you for you guys in a little, okay? And you can add some annotation and event range here. So that means what? You can put some some range in your trend, right? Another thing you can do here, if you create a tag note here and don't select any tag, put another text here, you put that on your timeline, okay? Because there's not any tag related to that. So that is in your time based here. About the color, Tolgar, yes, you can do that. But before that, let me explain one thing here.
Sure.
How the annotation works for us, for the FactoryStudio here, how that works. When you create here annotation for that, put a note in your tag, when I fill this dialog here, when I click in the OK button, I get the information that I want, and I save that in a database, okay? And the database that I save is pretty much this one here on the bottom, okay? So this is the database, the information that is in the database. Of course, here you have some manipulation to the name of the columns, do a filter on the columns that you want to show here, okay? But we have a database for that. When I change anything in my trend here, we have some callback methods that the product call that he reads this database and get the information that they want to draw the annotation on your display. Okay, so the first step is insert this information about the annotation in the database. And the second step is get this information from the database that was saved, manipulate the data, and show on the display. Okay? Everything from this code is inside of the product. Okay? But we decided to expose this code and open the code for the user, because in advanced if some customer, if you want to customize the annotation, he has the code and he can change the code. But I would say that 99% of the pairs that you're gonna use that don't need to know about this code. Okay, only gonna show because you know what is in this project here. So if you come in here in edit scripts and classes, we have here trend annotations. Here, we have all the callback methods that the project call and what he manipulates to create the annotation in your trend chart. Okay. So just a little information in the code here. Here is where he gets the information from the database that was saved and populate a new table with the information that it's important for the trend chart. And I pass this new table for the trend chart. The trend chart, you get this table and plot the things on the display for us. Okay. So remember of the question of the Tolgar, how change the color of that. So if you're thinking the color probably will be where? Will be on the when we insert the data on the database, right? Because I want to the product get the information after and show in the display. So where we can see that, if you come back here on draw, this one is the dialog from the annotation, the range annotation. And if you look here, we have this color here. So let's change this guy to red. Save. And let's try again. If I add a new one here, okay, now it's red. Okay, so to change the color, it's very simple. It's only need to where it's inserting in your database, it change the color there. Okay. Another thing I'd like to do on this example is to add at the same time, because here, these guys here, it's coming from the historian, right? Because if you come here in tags, historian, you have those tags already configured. So this tags here, this data that's showing here, it's being saved on the historian. I'd like to add here as well another search of data to show on this product. And for that, so let's stop this one. And I have my computer, the Canary Labs configured. And I have a project that we are saving data on the Canary Labs, okay? So, yeah, let me show here the Canary Labs here. So this is the Canary Labs. If I come here in the views, this is my computer. I created this test data set here. We have some assets here, and we have some data on that is saving here, okay? If you see the time here, it's the same, okay? So it's saving on the historian. To add, I close that, I think I close that. To add the Canary Labs on my project, let's come here on device, and let's add here the Canary device, okay? So I'm gonna add here the channel. I'm gonna note here, I'm gonna add the Canary Labs node. I'm gonna configure my primary station here with the information that I want. It's in the local, it's anonymous, okay? It's my computer, and the data set is the test one. If I click here, okay, look like it's okay. Come here again on my draw. I go to my trend page, display. Let's change here the switch to screen. And now we're gonna use this object here, the remote est component. Let's put it here on the bottom. And I'm gonna also change here. I'm gonna create a new tag here. just to be easier to select the tag, okay, from this remote est. Let's call it select. And this guy will be, okay. Now I'm gonna come in here, double click on this, I'm gonna select my new tag that I just created here. Okay. Also, I'm gonna create a button here on the top here. Called add. And I'm gonna put some action in this. Right script on that, new. On the bottom here, you can call here a method called add10. And what are you gonna pass to them? The new tag I create, because this tag is related with the remote est component. Okay, let's save that. And now I'm gonna run this plot and see what's happened. We started the project, started the modules. Go to the trend page, and let's see. Okay, so we already have some information from the Canary Labs now, okay? Mm-hmm. So I can select the guy here, one est here, and click on the add button, and there you go. All this information here, it's coming from the Canary Labs data provider, okay? You see that the data here is, everything is dynamic, okay? If you come open a new one here, panel power here, add that, there you go. All the data that is saving on the Canary Labs. And also you can mix the both, right? So here's the bottom, I have 2 pens that is coming from the Canary Labs, and now I'm gonna add a pen that is coming from my story, my SQLite, okay?
Okay.
So I can have both. Okay, I can mix the source of the data on this guy here. Another thing I would like to show here, but it's in the engineering environment here. Let me open my trend page here. On the trend configuration, okay? Why on this product I have these tags configured here, okay? And I don't have the pens here as I show in my first project, because when I create, you configure the tag here in the binds to pen, or no, bind to tag, or bind pens to tag, I am like make a link of my tag with my trend chart configuration. How this works? Let's show more in details that. Here on the tags definition, we have the UI here, where I have that tag here, the trend chart. That trend chart is the type of this template here, okay? This template is this one. And I have a lot of members into this template here. What I mean these members here? These members is the name of the properties of my trend charts, okay?
Did you say the name of the properties?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. No, cut out on my, okay.
Yeah, the properties of my trend chart. So if I change any one of these members here in the runtime, I'm gonna change one thing in my trend chart display, okay? Because now it's related because I configure my tag here on the configuration of the charts, okay? If I change anything on in the tag, I'm gonna change anything on my trend chart. That way is how we create these icons here on the top, okay? If you come, for example, on this stack panel, here, I'm just changing these properties. What these properties mean? We do the stack panel for that, okay? So I'm changing the tag, and the tag it's linked with my trend chart, and I can make the change on the trend chart. So you don't need a lot of scripts for that, okay? Only need to mapping the trend chart properties on a template with some members. And how I know what these members or properties do, okay? We have documentation in your support help desk. I guess I have that open here. This documentation here. What does mean? He has all the members that it's possible to configure there, and he has some explanation of that, okay? With some information, with some example how to use that. So if you want to do something, it's good you to check here what that properties do in learning how to configure that, okay? Another example here, if you come here in this guy, disable show alarms, okay? So if you just toggle this guy, you're gonna show or disable the alarms on my trend chart. I'm gonna show this working in a bit. So let me see more here. So this understanding this concept here, it's very important, okay? Because it's using this way, it's very easy to change your trend chart in runtime. And you see here, we have many properties that you can change in runtime. Basically, I guess 100% of your trend charts you can change in runtime, okay? You can change colors, you can change everything you can change here. I'm gonna show more in the next project. Let me see more here. Another thing I would like to talk to you guys. Remember if I told you in the first project about the schema table, right? That we have our schema table. We have the default schema table, and you have the normalized schema table. The default schema table in the normalized is the schema that our trend chart understand that the data, get that and plot in your display. If you have another, let's say you have external database with some different schema for that, how you can get information from your database and plot on our trend chart. The way to do that is using these properties here. It's not a property, but it's a field here on the historian. In config, you have this column here. Oh, sorry, this field here, get sample method. You create a method in a server class, and you configure that here. And every time the change needs updates, you call this method. And in this method, you're gonna make like a conversion of your schema for our schema. Okay, so you're gonna get data from your database and gonna manipulate that and gonna convert that for the schema that the trend chart understands. Okay, in your help desk also we have a example for that. Let me see here where I can see if I have the. Sorry, guys. Here in help desk, we have the solution. In the solution, you have here project samples. Here you have many folders, and one of these folders is the trend. And this guy here, the trend with custom data source, is the one that I talk about the get sample methods. Okay, so if you want to see how to do that, you can use this example here. Great. So let's moving forward, and let's go to the next project. I stop that. Now I'm gonna run. No, this one is the last one. I'm gonna run this one here. It's very similar, the one that I just run. But here I have some alarms on that. I have the simulation tags also using the simulation device on that. So I guess it's easier to show some implementation here. Start this one. Okay, I don't know if you guys are hearing the beep here. I'm gonna, because it has some alarm in this product, I'm gonna mute this beep here. Just a second. Okay. So here it's very similar. Okay, but here I have some tags, and I can add these tags here on my trend chart and my pins. And here you can see for each alarm it's happened, you have a marker on the trend chart. Okay, so that's very nice. Okay, so for each alarm that's happening in the project, I have some marker show the alarm. And this guy here is to disable or enable these markers here. Also, I would like to show on this project here. Let me see, let's put here. Few minutes in the duration. Let's remove that. Also, let's put more temporary stroke in here. The thickness for that for 2 here. Okay. Another thing, if I put the mouse over the tag in the legend here, the one that I'm with the mouse over stay in the highlight. It's very nice feature here. Okay. And another thing, it's possible here in our panes, you do some expression for that. So let's disable this pen and let's copy this. Now let's put here some expression to be easy. So it's possible to add an expression here to be easier to you guys see. Let's make this one here on the bottom, the A. Let's enable that. And let's put it out the combine for that. Okay. You see, there's some offset of 10 value units for this. If I can put here, for example, more 40 for that, or 30 for that, okay? And also I can do more complex express for that. I can everything divided by 2 here, okay? And also, one cool thing here, I can do some expression with using more than one tag. So I can put here tag B, for example. So the green here is the tag A minus the tag B, okay? And also I can divide that, okay? You can do some some customization in your expression here. That is very nice feature that you have in your panes. Cool.
So there's a variety of things you can accomplish just
exactly
in that area. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, but again, you can put any expression that you want here. Okay.
Yeah.
Like you can put anything here. Okay. You can add another tag. You can add the tag C. Okay. You can put anything here. Another cool thing here to show you guys is that we can disable this here. Here on the pens we have these two properties here. Okay, the filter can be 0, that's the normal. Can be 1, that means that it show value area, and this working combined with this another value here. So let's put, for example, 10 here, or I don't know, 20 here. Okay, so he's do some show the value area for us using these filters here. Or I can put like 30 here. Okay, it is very nice. Here you can see that, but okay. And then you have another filter for that. That's the number 2. That's the medium for the points. Okay, so you can put a number here like 50 or 30 to get the point, do a medium for between that using this value here. Okay, so nice feature that you can use in your project there. Another cool property that I want to show you guys, if we have this splice tensor here. Let me see if I can show you. It's not in the project, but I can manipulate that. Let me see if we do this guy here. I'm trying a way to show that for you guys. Let's see. Let's put 1 here. Look, very nice. What's happening here? You get the 2 concept points and make like a curve on that. Okay, so you can work with the size of this curve on that. Okay, so 0 is nothing, and you can put like this or like that. Okay, so a nice way to change, to manipulate the values on that. Let me see more things here. I guess we have this another button here where you can change the colors of your trend chart on runtime. Like I said, you can change everything you want in the runtime. Okay, the line is everything you can change it here also. Okay.
Perfect. Eric, just quickly, I've got a question that just came through from Hezron. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but he wrote, can you use this trending to perform condition monitoring?
Condition monitoring. What does mean condition monitoring?
Yeah, Hezron, do you want to specify a little bit by what you mean in terms of condition monitoring as it relates to Eric? And then I'll make sure we get you your answer there. All right, go ahead, Eric.
Okay, so let's stop here and start another example here. And this is the last one. Let's start this. Okay, on this one here, it's used to show like the playback on the trend chart. Okay, so here we have, you can see we have some dark theme for that. Theme for that. So everything is dark. Okay, you can play a little bit with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the three values here on the top. The current value that is coming from the field. Normally it's coming from a PLC or the device. We have some calculate value that is a value that you manipulate in a script, okay? And we have the historian value for that. Here, on this piece of display here, it's simulated like a synoptic or a process in your factor, for example. And we can change it here to show the current value or show your calculate value or show historical value, okay? So you don't have any script behind that, okay? If you come in here on this project here, and what you have in this combo box here, it's only set a property here, okay? So I don't have any script behind that. Only I just have a script to fill those tags, right? Those two tags here, but I don't have more script to manipulate to show my process here. And the cool thing for that you can, let me disable this guy here. You can stop your trend chart. You can, let's put more, changing my zoom here to be better. Okay, so you can click here with your cursor here, and the value that is showing here for me is the intersection between my cursor and my trend. Okay, my plot, my spans. Okay, so if you come here and I click on the play here, he starts to move and my process starts to move using my historian values. Okay, so what's happening here? Let's imagine you have some synoptical screen. Using this way, this playback here, you can go back on the time. You can change your synoptic, your process to show historical value. So you can, for let's imagine you have some issue in your plant 2 days ago. Using these features here, you can move your trend chart to 2 days ago, and you can run the playback on that, and you can monitor what's happening in your plant. If the valve is open, if the valve is closed, you can monitor and see visually what's happening in your plant. And you can see the tags, or the value of the tags on that moment, okay? So you can play back in your trend chart. Also
Can
here,
you,
what?
sorry, I just wanted to ask you, can you also show the value of the SPC in a tag?
Yes. If you, yeah, I'm gonna show the SPC now here. So you can enable the SPC, but here, if you come here on the trend here, again, the configuration and SPC settings, we enable only 3 values here, right? We enable the minimum, the maximum, the medium here, okay? You can change that for the others, but for the values, if you come, for example, here on the documentation of the properties for that, if you come on the panes configuration, we have here the SPC, for example, medium value, or the SPC max value, okay? Just get this guy configure on your trend here, template, trend chart. Okay, let's put that here, and that's it. You can use this guy to monitor your value. Okay, it's very easy to do that. And come back here on the display. So the red line is showing the maximum and the minimum of that, and the blue line is showing the median. This median is like he get the data values that's showing on the duration, and do the calculation to get this median here. Okay, if for example I change here during the duration, you can see the blue line change a little bit because I'm changing the data I'm visualization here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you can enable for the other panes as well. Okay. Another thing here, we have this dark dot you cannot see, but there's an icon here where you can click to show the trend in your entire page. Okay, you don't have any code for that, it's just built in to do that. It's very nice also. Okay, I guess from my side is everything that you want for now.
No, thank you very much for that. I appreciate you taking the time to go through, and I love demos, so it was great to see some advanced stuff here. Really quickly, before we call it a day, I had a question from Hezron, who's asking, as it relates to trending, to perform for condition monitoring, and then I asked him, what he meant by condition monitoring, because I was thinking on the predictive maintenance side, and he said, yes, say you're monitoring the condition of vibrating sensors on a mining conveyance system, and you want to pick up those conditions that are out of bounds or out of alarm levels to determine if your bearings to where your sensors are mounted are still working okay.
Yes, you can do that, and also like you can put some marker on the trend chart to show where is the alarm happens, to see what it was out of the normal condition for that. Okay, so you can do that, and also you have let's see more what you can do that for. I guess using the alarm, I guess it will be the best way to show that, right? Because you need to show what is the limit for your normal condition to work on that. So you can show that in the trend chart, where the alarms happens, what it was out of, right? Out of the normal condition. Also, if you want, you can create some lines or some static value with the limits of your normal condition. Okay, and so you can visualize in your trend chart what is out of that line. It's out of the condition, right? So you can also create some static values in plotting your trend chart as well. Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. And Hezron, hopefully that answered your question. If you have any other questions, and for those watching as well, you can always post it on forum.tatsoft.com, and our support will respond quickly there. So what did you think, Eric? Did you have fun on our show today?
Yeah, it was very nice. I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Yeah,
we enjoyed that.
I was going to say the numbers were great. We had a lot of people tuned in on both YouTube and LinkedIn, and we're also broadcasting on Facebook today. So some positive numbers, and we'll definitely have you back on the show. I enjoyed this. Thank you.
Cool. Very nice. Thank you guys to watch us. Okay. If you have any question, let us know. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Any questions you've got out there, always feel free to reach out to us. We are accessible. And with that, we will see you guys next Thursday at noon. Thank you again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.